Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we are on another episode of Evolve, episode number 23. We're almost to that golden number of 25, which honestly doesn't really like change anything in in like the scheme of things, but probably the next time we like kind of look over the roster again because we did that at 10, and I don't want to go over too soon, but there's definitely been some changes, so I think 25 will be a good spot. So we'll be doing that soon. So we're gonna start off, which was kind of crazy why they started off the show with the title match. I guess it's like they didn't think there would be as much heat with it. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a weird call there, but it's Callie Armstrong versus Jintala for the Evolve title. Honestly, this match kind of just suffered from like a little bit of weirdness with like their back and forth. I felt like Jintala was like hitting kind of lightly, and like it's never good to like noticeably know that like the person is not hitting that hard, and it just felt like there's a lot. I don't know if it was like a stamina issue because she seemed a little gassed, but maybe that was like what she was going for. But it just kind of felt like all of it was okay, but nothing too crazy. And I was kind of disappointed because I really thought the best case here would have been like Jintala like just brutalizing her and then getting like DQ'd and then setting up for something later would have been better like than to like just kind of casually lose here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like they kind of were building Jintala to be like kind of like a big bad guy, and then when she just kind of loses clean like this, I don't know what you do with her afterwards. So I think I'd put this in C. I don't think I enjoyed it as much. The match was like okay. I just felt like it didn't get that hype vibe of anything because we were hoping that that would be obviously the main event, and it wasn't even that. So it felt a little off. So then next up we had Wendy Chu versus Carly Bright. Wendy Chu's been stalking her and Kendall Gray. So it's a little low key storyline that they've been doing. I'm not really opposed to it because I like Kylie Bright and I like Kendall Gray, so I'm glad they get some extra time. They got a little bit of backstage. They go into this match. The match itself I thought was pretty solid. Both Wendy and Carly look pretty good. I'd put it in a solid B. I like the story. I think it's going to obviously set up with Wendy winning here. The match against her and Kendall Gray as like a rematch type thing. I'm cool with that. So it's a pretty decent story. I think like they've had all these little stories, and they every about 2 weeks they kind of push the story forward a little bit, and I like that. Like obviously you can't take too long for some of these stories to go, but this one was pretty solid, and yeah, I thought the match was pretty decent. Then we had just this backstage promo. It's Tate Wilder and Brooks Jensen, and none of this was good. I still have like put Tate Wilder as my bottom two wrestlers in Evolve. Like I just don't like his gimmick. His wrestling wasn't the worst. It didn't. It just definitely didn't like when he finally did wrestle. I thought like, oh man, I'm gonna be so wrong, and he's gonna be like pretty decent, and I'm gonna be like, oh man, I just ate my words. But no, I still feel like there's some work that needs to be done with all this. And Brooks Jensen is just kind of like, why is he here? Like he got kicked out of the calling, and now it's just down here doing nothing. I mean, he obviously has to win some matches, so like they should have him actually do stuff, but it's just been all over the place. I'm putting this down in D. And then we had Carmen Petrovic. She came out after Kylie Armstrong won and basically like demanded a rematch. Again, I'm pretty cool with that because like she doesn't have a lot of space there on NXT. Like that whole division is pretty solid, and it is like a rematch. She will have a number one contenders match next week, which honestly she should win, but like I don't know what they're gonna do here. I think it's gonna be like a double count out or something, or Gintala's gonna attack them and be a disqualification, so it makes it a like a triple threat. I think that would be their safest bet to protect both workers, and possibly also could make it like a fatal four way if they wanted to put Gintala in it as being like just kind of get rid of everything at the same time. That would be my end goal for this whole thing, but I'm not really sure. But I'll put Petrovic being in Evolve. I think it's definitely an S tier thing. She's a solid wrestler. She's in a stacked division on NXT, and then Evolve's pretty stacked too. But I think she has a little bit more space to do some stuff if they let her have some matches and let her go on the mic. Because I think that's the big thing. Like she could definitely use some time to like do promos and do stuff like that. And I think that would help her out. And then this match next week, I think is going to be pretty good. So I'll also put it up in S tier. I'm down for this type of feud. I see a vision that they're trying to do for the women's division, and I'm cool with that because all of those women are great. On top of that, there is still a whole plethora. God, why am every time I say that word, I know how to say it, but I struggle with it. But yeah, their division is so stacked that like we're talking about four women up there, and there's still so many. You still got Zeta still, obviously Kendall Gray and Carly Bright. Whitney Chu should be up there. Layla Diggs, Chantel Monroe, Zara Zacher, Kylie Ray. There's so many that are on this division and Finn that like it's insane. Other promos type thing we got was Dante Chen talking about going against Idris. The storyline isn't like really my favorite or anything, but it has got them now a second match together. I have a feeling it's gonna be like a trilogy match. I think Dante Chen wins the next one, and then like gets attacked afterwards, and then sets up a third one down the line. Not necessarily against it. Dante Chen, I kind of like him. Idris is fine. I don't. I feel like he's fine with his wrestling, but his character work needs a little bit of work. So I'll put this in B. I mean, I'm not like completely opposed to it. And then we get to the main event, which was Bryce Donovan versus Kiana Carver. I actually think they really did this match really good, like from start to finish, of being like the story it told, because the whole point of it was like obviously you got the big heel faction against the big heel, so like they really couldn't afford to win, but they did it in the best way to one put some dissent into Vanity Project with not really being able to help Bryce Harper, not Bryce Harper, Bryce Donovan, not the Phillies outfielder. And then they, obviously made Kiana Carver look strong against another big guy. So I kind of liked how they did it. It was like about a 7 to 8 minute match, and I think if you think about it, it ended up being the perfect way of doing it. I'd still put it probably into B. Wasn't really my favorite match altogether, but I think like if you from start to finish and do all of that, it was great. I definitely feel like the order of matches were off. I think if they would have gave Jintala and Kylie Armstrong a little bit more time and like did a little bit more stuff in there, I think that could have easily been the main event and it would have raised it up. And the other two, it would have been like Wendy Chu started and then the men's match in the middle. I think all of that would have made the whole thing better. I know they were trying to do the back part with Brooks Jensen coming out and confronting Jackson Drake and then Jordan Races attacking him. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff, so I mean, it made it some more story. I'll probably put this stuff up in A. I mean, at least they're cooking a pretty good story with everybody around. I do want to see Jackson Drake defend his title again. It's been a couple weeks. I feel like maybe every third show they should be one title match. I mean, obviously there's not a lot of time and a lot of matches. Again, perfect thing of having 3 matches here. But I'll put the show all together into a B. Definitely not the worst show. Definitely not the best, but I think it was a pretty solid episode 23. So, like I said before, we'll keep shrugging along. We're gonna get to 25, and then we're probably gonna go over the roster again because it's changed a little bit. There's some people that you just don't see anymore because I think LFG took a couple people, and then some people kind of got pushed into other areas, and like there's just a bunch of people like come in and out that we don't always see, and I think that's just kind of like the booking and stuff. So we'll see that. And if you like these reviews, we do Evolve, we do NXT, we do SmackDown, Raw, all of the shows, and then every PLE and all that stuff on this channel. So if you like that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.